Okay. Good evening to everyone. Welcome to
Good evening, sir.
our YCB Level 2 Ministry of Ayush Government of India Yoga Certification Course conducted by Swami Vivekananda Yoga, Mancherial, Telangana, India. Today our topic, first chapter, Fundamentals of Yoga, Etymological Meaning of Yoga. Today our speaker, Dr. Swapna from Nellore. Please continue, madam. Over to
Yes, sir.
Agar.
We had a brief introduction of what would be covered in the YCB syllabus. So either if you are attempting YCB level 1 or level 2, the current unit will be the same for both of the streams. If you write level 1 or level 2, we should be going through the etymology of yoga, history of yoga, and other definitions and origins of yoga. So if you see the term etymology is nothing but a term which is used to identify the root of a particular concept. So if you say yoga is a process. So when did actually yoga has been started? What was the origin? At which point the people started discussing about yoga, how it came into existence, how it was originated. It is not exactly origin, but from which point it started, how it got evolved. So all those things comes under etymology of yoga. So this yoga, the word, if you see yoga as time being, many people has given different definitions according to their understanding. And a few people started explaining it as in, say, if you just ask a person who doesn't know, who haven't practiced yoga, he might say it is nothing but a simple set of physical exercise. Whereas if you ask a person who is practicing yoga, he might tell you that it consists of a set of asanas, some breathing practices. If the same question is posed to a yoga therapist or a yoga teacher, he would explain in a different way. He would say, yoga is a way of living. Yoga is a science which deals about not only about our health, but also a little above than our health. That is nothing but exploring internal in itself. So if the same question is asked to a philosophical thinker, he would say yoga is a process to reach the higher levels of enlightenment. So different people, so as the process is evolving from the root to the different eras, different traditions, the word has been understood by many people in many different ways. So these are just simple things. I will be sharing these notes with you. So these are the simple things which has been evolved during the process. In general, yoga is nothing but has been derived from a Sanskrit word yuj. Yuj means joining. There is another meaning also, yoke. Yuj samadho. Yuj means joining. Joining of what? Many people say different definitions. Joining of Atma with Paramatma. Joining of self with the higher self. That is individual self with the Paramatma. Joining of inner consciousness with the super consciousness. So different definitions, but yuj, yoga is derived from the Sanskrit word yuj, meaning to yoke, to join, union. So this is one of the fundamental definition or fundamental meaning of the word yoga, right? So if we go through other definitions, there is a commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutras which was given by VYASA Maharshi. He says that yoga means samadhi. Samadhi of what? Samadhi of complete absorption or spiritual absorption. Samadhi is nothing but whatever the dvandvas which are present in our body. Dvandvas means for everything there will be two sides, good and bad. For example, hatha, sun and moon, happiness and sadness. So there are, for each and everything there will be two dimensions, opposite dimensions. When a person reaches to a state where he treats each and everything equally, that is known as samadhi. So that is nothing but spiritual absorption, where the object completely merges with the subject. So this is known as samadhi. Vyasa Maharshi, while commenting on Patanjali Yoga Sutras, he said that yoga means samadhi. So these are simple questions you might be getting as multiple choice. Who defined yoga as samadhi? So here the questions could be Vyasa Maharshi, Patanjali, and few other Swami Vivekananda, Aurobindo. So you should be able to just identify that Vyasa Maharshi, in his commentary of Patanjali Yoga Sutras, he said yoga means samadhi. Whereas if you go through another person, Panini, the sage Panini, he is actually known as grammarian. Panini was the person who introduced the Sanskrit grammar. He says that yoga has been arrived from two root verbs that is known as yujir. In the last slide we said yuj. Here we are saying yujir. Yujir or yuj in the Yoga Sutras, that is to join. So here he understood, or Panini said that it is derived from the root word yuj samadhav. So who has defined yoga as samadhav? Yuj samadhav is nothing but Panini Maharshi. According to Patanjali Maharshi, yoga has been defined to attain spiritual perfection through the control of the body, senses, and mind. See, these are three different definitions. The first one says yoga means samadhi. The second one says yoga is derived from the root word yuj samadhav. Whereas Patanjali Maharshi says chitta vritti nirodha, that is to attain spiritual perfection through the control of the body, senses, and mind. And if we come to the modern era, yoga is an applied science. It is a systematized discipline to achieve an intended goal. What is the goal of the human beings? To stop from sufferings. To stop from sufferings. In general, a person always wants to cease his sufferings. He always wants to be in pleasure. He always wants to be happy. He always wants to be disease-free life. So to achieve that intended goal, so suppose if my goal is to live healthy without any diseases, I can use yoga as a science. Yoga, I can apply that yogic methodology or yogic principles in my way of living to achieve my goal. What was my goal? To be disease-free. In this way, another person might be having another goal to reach good emotional health, good mental health. That is, if his goal is to reach peaceful life, that is without no worries, then also he can use yogic principles. So it depends upon the person's goal. Whatever the goal, he can use some of the principles of yoga. That means you can use the principles of yoga, apply in your lifestyle, apply in your thinking, apply in your thoughts, and reach that goal. So these are some of the definitions or which has been evolved through the process. Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Maharshi Patanjali has said that spiritual perfection. That spiritual perfection will be achieved if we go through chitta vritti nirodha. If we follow the principle chitta vritti nirodha. What is meant by chitta? Chitta is nothing but mind. What is meant by vritti? Vritti is nothing but different kinds of actions the mind does, or different kinds of works the mind goes through. So if we stop our mind, if we make our mind to stop all the actions which it is continuously doing without any stoppage, so our mind will be continuously working. There is no rest for our mind. So if we go to a state where we can make our mind to stop mental thinking in the sense to stop overthinking, then at that point we will reach samadhi. Of course, I have told in a very simple way. We will go into a deeper version of what is meant by chitta vritti nirodha later when we go to Patanjali Yoga Sutras. As of now, if we are able to stop the patterns of our thinking from our mind, that is known as chitta vritti nirodha, where a person absorbs himself with the God, that is known as chitta vritti nirodha, which is defined as yoga by Patanjali Maharshi. And there was another definition which says that yoga is to help us realize our identity with the real self. With the real self means always a person thinks of or compares himself with the others, with the external world. He starts looking outwards. Today, he might be using a bicycle to go to his job. He starts comparing with another person. And then he thinks, let me have some scooter. Then again he thoughts, once he buys scooter, he works hard, he gets scooter. Then he wants to go by car. Then he wants to go by flight. So this person, he is never thinking of why he is born into this world, what is his nature as a human being, how to look inwards, how to purify himself. He is not looking inwards, but he is always trying or looking outwards. So in this process, he forgets why his existence, why he has been existent in this world, what he needs to do to reach his higher levels. He is missing that particular connection with himself. When a person realizes his identity, when he wants to create a connection with his internal self, that is looking inwards, that is known as yoga. Simply to look inwards, to connect to yourself is defined as yoga. And there are two very important definitions which has been given in Bhagavad Gita. These are very important also. These two definitions has been, the first one is Samatvam Yoga Yuchyate. Samatvam Yoga Yuchyate. Second one is Yogaha Karmasu Kausalam. Samatvam Yoga Yuchyate. This could be again understood in different contexts. As of now, for our exam oriented or for our basic understanding, if a person is able to achieve, or if a person is able to achieve detachment of anything, whether he is succeeding in his life or whether he is failing in his life, that means samamu. Samamu means equanimity. In whichever situation he is, whether he is in happiest situation or whether he is in a difficult situation, he should just think of his well-being. He should not attach himself with the result of that particular action. He should be able to take the result, whether it is positive or negative, whether it is success or whether it is failure. If a particular person reaches to that stage where he takes each and everything equally, that is known as Samatvam Yoga Muchyate. And the second definition says Yogaha Karmasu Kausalam. Karmasu means action. Karma means action. Every person goes to different kinds of actions. There could be good actions, there could be bad actions. Some actions result in giving you papa. Some actions result in giving you punya. So papa, punya, there are again karmas are different. We will deal it later. So if you are trying to do an action or if you are trying to do a task, and if you are doing the task with 100% attention by giving your mind in the sense, not only your hard work, manasa, vacha, karmane. If all the three faculties of the mind you are keeping in that particular task, kushalata. Kushalata means the way you are naipunyata. Kushalamulera naipunyata means you should be able to do that work with very, very good skill. If a person tries to do that work with utmost by considering each and every detail, and if he goes to that particular extent where he gives his 100%, that is also known as yoga. In simpler words, if you ask, say suppose in your at your home or at your office or somewhere else, if you recruit a sweeper to clean the floor, if that sweeper is taking utmost attention to clean the entire surface area without having a single perk of dust. There should not be dust, not even in the corner, even a small dot of dust should not be present. If he is able to show that much expertise in cleaning the surface, that means he has achieved yoga in cleaning the surface. In the same way, if you are showing 100% attention in reading a book or 100% attention in performing a task, that is, you are showing your entire expertise, that is also known as Kaushalam. Yoga is defined as skill in action. So these are the two definitions which you should keep it in mind, important definitions. One is Samatvam Yoga Yuchyate, second one is Yogaha Karmasu Kausalam. Both have been defined in the Bhagavad Gita. And if you think of Patanjali, we all know that Patanjali Maharshi is known as the father of yoga. So if we see when the period of Patanjali, it was in general before Christ around between 3rd to 5th centuries BC. And Patanjali Maharshi is believed to be incarnation of Adisesha, Adiseshu. Adiseshu in the sense the serpent god. So if you see the Murti or the image of Patanjali Maharshi, half of the body will be in human being, half of the upper body. The lower body will be in the serpent way. So the image, half body is a human being, lower half of the body is the incarnation of the serpent god. So one of the important point you should be able to remember is Patanjali Maharshi is supposed to be or believed to be incarnation of the Adisesha, who is known as the serpent god, and also the vehicle of Lord Vishnu. This point also you should be able to remember. So in general, in Sanatana Dharma or our scriptures, it is identified as Adi to be the vehicle of Lord Vishnu.